Val.
And I'm Tal.
And today we're going to be talking all things uni friendships. If you're coming to university in September, or if you're going into a new fresh start, if you're going into second, third year, I don't care. If you're going to uni and you feel as though you're alone, that you are going to have friendship anxiety, or that you're just not going to be able to find friends, we are living proof that that is not the case, because
believe it or not, we've only been friends for 3 flipping weeks, and we feel like we've known each other for literally years and years, and It feels weird to say that we've only known each other for 3 weeks.
We met during a stressful exam period through a shared module, and now we're making YouTube videos together. So that just goes to show you don't know when your best friend's going to come along. But if you want other tips surrounding that and just other pieces of advice from 2 people who have gone through it this year, let's get started.
Let's go. So if you're worried about not knowing anyone in university, we actually think this is the best position you could possibly be in, because you don't know anyone, and that means you can make friends with unlimited amount of people. You're not restricted by somebody that you already know, by a friend that you already know. You can just feel free to go and make friends with whoever you want. You're not going to be judged. No one knows who you are. Like, you can just feel free to be yourself with no restrictions.
Because that happened for us too. We didn't go into university knowing any people really, and the fact that we've still managed to create such close friendships just goes to show that it doesn't matter. And we were both really wanting to advocate that don't go to university just because of certain friends going to that uni.
Or a certain relationship that you're in, like, don't go because of them. Go because you want to go.
Exactly. If you feel like it's the right place for you, then that's where you should be. Okay, so if you're feeling lonely or just as though you're going to be alone, just know you're not the only person to think that. I know you see this all the time online, on TikTok, when people give you advice about making friends at uni, but it's so true. Everyone's in the same boat, okay? Even if you tried to meet up with people over summer before uni started, if you tried using the uni buddy chat or whatever else social media platforms, your friendships who you think are going to be your friends are not going to be the same in September. So just go in with an open mind, and I think we can both advocate for that.
Yeah, definitely. And also, don't be afraid if your friendships change. Like, that's so normal. Like, you'll just grow as a person. Some people, like, will change in ways that you won't, and that's totally okay. So
definitely, because I think we've both gotten a lot more confident as the year's gone on, and I'm definitely not the same version of me who came into Freshers Week, you know? And I think that's a beautiful thing. Don't try and change that. And just as much as you're going to be changing, you're going to outgrow the people too. So just because you think someone's your best friend during Freshers Week doesn't mean they have to be. Just be fluid and know that it's a normal feeling and your feelings are valid. You're not alone in how you're feeling.
So what are our tips for making friends?
Personally, I think that the best way to do this is to just say hi to anyone you meet. And when I say this, I mean it, because you know how people say, like, strangers dangerous? They can be, and I'm not enticing you to go and do that. Don't just go and meet people on the random street. But if you're at a university campus event, if you're at a society, give it a go. If you're even in your accommodation, the amount of people I met during Freshers Week just by going downstairs to play some pool in my common room, find natural settings where people are all going to merge together. Your accommodation will probably host, like, loads of welcome events, that kind of thing, and that's where I found a lot of, like,
attend all of them, as many as you can, literally, because you'll meet so many people there that are, like, also like-minded and wanting to find friends like you are.
Definitely.
So you'll just end up finding people. You'll end up being with the right people at the right time. So.
And how did you find friends?
So my advice would be, definitely say hi to everyone on your course, but also like just join societies and give it a go for the societies, and just get involved with, like, anything you want to. If you're passionate about something and you're joining a society where someone else is passionate about something, the chances are you're gonna make friends so easily because you're passionate about the same thing. So it's just easy to make friends that way.
I definitely agree with that. And I think another big element of it is to not feel as though people have to be your best friend. You can literally just be acquaintances. And also, don't feel as though you have to stick with your course mates, because I definitely didn't stick with just them. Like, I didn't feel as though I clicked with a lot of people at the start. And so if you're just thinking, oh, people on my degree are going to be my besties, it's okay if not.
I don't think any of my course mates are living with people from our course. We're all living with our different friendship groups, but we're still also friends with each other. So, like, you can just be fluid. It doesn't matter if you don't have a big friendship group. I feel like there's such a big stigma where it's like, oh, you have to have such a big friendship group. But it's nice having, like, little pockets of friends in your different interests and stuff.
Definitely. And I think in a way, people add value to your life in different ways. So keep that in mind. You know, one person could be really good for filming YouTube videos with. Another person might just serve you by being good company at a picnic. You know, like, it doesn't matter, but play to your strengths as, like, the friendship goes. It's kind of like relationships. Communication really is key, and as long as you communicate and you're open to testing out different friendships, you'll be set. So another tip that we have is
don't just ask people, what is your course? Like, that's such a basic ass question. Of course you can ask that when you first meet somebody. You can be doing any course at uni, but that's the thing, you can be doing any course at uni. Like, that doesn't really mean anything. If you want to find more about someone in depth, ask them stuff like what societies they're doing, what hobbies they have.
And I think that's a really big point, because people hate small talk. No one really wants to be doing it. We just do it because it's awkward, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you go to a networking event, you're like, oh yeah, so what industry are you in? Like, ask them something different. Like, what's the greatest achievement that you've had in your career so far? You know, like,
exactly.
You need to make yourself memorable in people's minds. So if you can say something that's a bit out of the blue, and I'm not telling you to go and ask them what their favourite type of fish is or something like that, you know, like, not that obscure, but if we can meet somewhere in the middle, maybe like, oh, what's your star sign? Or like, just something that makes you a little bit quirky, because being different is not a bad thing. Actually use that to build the friendship.
Yeah.
And if you have like a certain hobby, you know, that's a great way to, again, link up with people. Or sports. There's so many different ways to make friends. I think it's mostly in our head, and we just get so anxious and we work it up. But if you think about it, we do it all the time over social media, you know, you always comment on people's posts. Just do that in real life.
Yeah, that's
Just don't spread hate.
Yeah.
Spread kindness always.
Exactly.
Next, we're going to talk about freshers' friendships. So how have they changed since the start of first year? Because we kind of want to show this to people, that even though you might have an expectation or a certain thing at the start, your end result might be different.
Yeah, so for example, I feel like at the start of the year, you're going out quite a lot, you're clubbing, you're like looking at the new city, drinking, or maybe a lot with your friends. Some people like wouldn't typically do that anyway, like me, for example. So I feel like when I was going out more, I was just going out with people that were going out more. And I feel like as the semester, you know, kind of like went to exams and stuff, I would go out less and less, because obviously I wanted to focus on that. So you just naturally end up with people that don't have like exactly the same interests as the people you were friends with before. So they do change, like, depending on just what era of your life you're in. Like, that's so fine.
Definitely. And I think for me, even though I was such an extroverted person, I found that semester one I was really lonely. Like, university was not a smooth sailing experience, and I think a lot of people will say that, but they don't necessarily show it online. If you are feeling that, you know, you haven't found your people yet, that you haven't found that friend group that everyone strives to have, it's okay, because later on in the year you can start to see that, and maybe sometimes you will just click with that one roommate, but sometimes it's not. And I think having opposite characteristics or hobbies actually really helps. So like we said, don't try and stick with just your course, don't try and stick with people who only are interested in the same specific niche as you, because I think a lot of the time friendships are meant so that you can kind of learn from each other and learn from different life experiences. If you haven't come from the same background, that's even better in a way, I find, you know, like let's say you went to a state school and you're friends with like a private school person, approach people who you wouldn't really necessarily have spoken to if you were in school, because I find for me, I went to an all-girls sixth form, and that was a very different experience. So when I came to uni, I seeked male friendships, which I don't think is bad, you know, like just find what works best for you, stick with that. Okay, so hopefully that's kind of calm down your nerves a little bit about starting university, coming from people who also were really anxious when we first got here. And now I feel as though we've really developed as people and have actually found really blooming friendships. And obviously our friendships might change throughout second and third year, but that's normal. I think just going in with the mindset that that's gonna happen, that's the best thing you can do. Acknowledge it rather than be afraid of it. And I think also just showing up for yourself and making sure that you're being you. Because I feel a lot of the time we just put pressure on ourselves to fit in with a certain group or to be that kind of personality.
But you will find people that match your personality. Example A right here, exhibit A right here.
Definitely. And you don't know whether it'll take 2 minutes or 20 years to find them, you know? But it's about that journey, and it's not about you feeling as though like you have to race to find the people, because I get obviously people are looking for student housing, and it seems like a lot of time pressure as well on you during freshers.
Do not rush that process. That's in the video for another day, but do not rush that process. Take your time with finding who you're comfortable with and like getting to know them in that personal way of like you actually want to live with them for another year.
Yeah, but I think that's, again, like she says, that's another content for another time. But as a baseline, be open, be you, and you will definitely see that you are not alone, and it's just all up in your head.
You're not alone. You got this.
Make an effort. If you want to make friends, you've got to realise you've got to put in that work as well. It's not one-sided. I hope this has been helpful.
Thank you very much for watching.
And follow Tal. I will link all of her social medias down below. Expect another collab coming from us very, very soon. But until next time, keep smiling, keep being you, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!